Hey, how's it in the name of Christ? It's your girl Crank. Hey, I hope you're good. I hope you're stellar. I hope you're in a neat little bunch, and I hope you're spectacular or something. Today is the 28th of October, and I have come to learn, apparently, allegedly, that it is the World Cup final. It's the World Cup final, and my country got there. The World Cup rugby final. And I only found that out because I was asked to go and purchase stuff out there in the wilderness, and I noticed they were setting up stall in order for people to like chill at like a restaurant and celebrate and do whatever. Let's hope they win, because at the end of the day I'm still patriotic about South Africa. You know, guys, I should just go and marry a 23-year-old or a 20-year-old. Yeah. Kilowa sugar mama, because everywhere I go, people seem to think I'm 19 years old. Sometimes even a high school student, like all together. So today I get to the Pick and Pay to go and purchase juice, because my mom is hosting people to watch the World Cup. I hate guests, but anyway, whatever, because they make me feel uncomfortable, alright? So she asked me to go buy juice earlier at the store. I go, and this one lady looks at her colleague and is like, maybe you should just leave with him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This guy's like staring at me. He's like, if you batla motu, just go with this guy. And then she stares at me. She's like, nah, he's too young for me, because I am almost 40. I'm hitting 40. She's a black woman, so she looked like 26 herself. She's like, I'm hitting 40. And I'm listening to this woman. I'm like, I'm not about to tell this lady what my age is, because at this point it sounds like a loud gong and a clanging cymbal. I don't want anybody knowing my age, because I'm not where I'm supposed to be in life for this 39 years of age. And so I'm like laughing, they're giggling. And then I look at this dude and I'm like, how old is this guy that you say I must leave with? She's like, because she's like teasing her colleague because he was like getting in her hair or something. She's like, he's young, he's little just like you, so maybe you should just take him out of my hair. Just leave with him. And then she's like, I'm like, how old is this guy? What is he, like 19? And this lady is like, 20, 24. I was like, get this Ben 10. In my mind, I'm thinking, if only you knew, I'm literally your age. You and I are the same age. You who is about to turn 40. I was shocked at your age when you told me that you're about to turn 40. Well, I'm also about to turn 40, but I didn't tell her. I was just giggling at the joke that she was making, trying to tease her colleague, because she felt, she was teasing him on some, take him out of my hair, please, just go with him type thing. That happened at the Pick and Pay, right? And then here, my uncle and my aunt came here with some people that don't know us. Yeah, some other friends of theirs. AGA. You know, guys, there's so much longevity in my family. My uncle is more or less my mom's age. He's younger than my mom by like 2 or 3 years or something. So he's like 60, yeah. And this is the first time I've ever seen his beard gray. Like, this is he's had a beard all along and it's been super black. Last year it was black, but this year it's gray. He's popping his first gray in 2023 at 60. And y'all be trying to think that I'm about to pop gray on this head of hair. It's my genes, guys. It's in my genes. My uncle, who is my mom's like direct immediate sibling. Yeah, my mom also, her first gray popped at around the exact same time as my uncle. When she was like 60, 61, that's when her first like line of gray hair rocked up on her hair. So I'm not about to turn gray in a minute now. Black don't crack, we get it, but genes also go a long way. So young do I look, these naive randos that look as young as they do at the old age that they're all at. Thoroughly thought they could sit back and watch me age and die with nothing to my name, having broken my heart, and expect whatever it is that is running or coursing through the veins of the family to not course through my veins. Now they're all frustrated with the fact that I look so young, that even their friends that don't know me, that are here for the first time, other 60-year-old, other 65-year-old men, I go in the house and they call me on some, please help us with the remote because we don't know what to do. We want the news. To put on something that we can watch. I thought they wanted to watch rugby, but I don't think the match has started yet. So they just want to watch TV just going and going. And my mom has like a smart TV and they're struggling to navigate through it. So I sit down on the couch and I'm just like, okay, so what do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? Type thing. And then they ultimately choose YouTube news on YouTube, like a live broadcast of news on YouTube, because we don't have DSTV anymore, given that we've got Netflix, and my mother figured ain't nobody watching DSTV anyway, so she just got rid of it, the subscription. So all we watch is Netflix, right? I'm hungry, man. Ish, what time is it? It's 7. Today I'm not breaking my fast with food because I'm not exercising, but I should eat. Earlier I was feeling weak at the store when I went out to go and buy the juices, and I realized that, oh my goodness, whoa, if I was out there in the wilderness going to a 9-to-5 job, I'd be feeling weak, like super duper weak, because I was like all lightheaded. But I was like, come on, I've had my coffees, don't get deep. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, so I'm hungry and I should go eat. And yeah, today I don't want to rap on for like ever in a day, but I'm getting to a point here. These gentlemen that I hear with my aunt and my uncle, they're not part of the family. They don't know me. They're my uncle's people that I've never met ever before. And as I'm busy scrolling through YouTube chat, basically the TV to help them along to find something to watch on the television, the one man is like, "Ke moradi." That basically means, is this the daughter of your sister? My mom is not in the lounge because she's feeling sick, right? So she invited guests unbeknownst to herself that she'd be feeling some kind of way. So she's lying down, she's in her bedroom. So right now it's my uncle and my aunt, the uncle and aunt of which are my arch nemesis's parents. All right, a cousin that used to be my best of friends, but then she turned rogue on me, went witchcraft central on her sister. They're the parents. So basically they're the closest aunt and uncle that I've ever had growing up, given that I was very tight with their daughter. So they should be like my mom and dad too, but they done stabbed me in the back in favor of their child. Anyway, I guess that's what families do, right? You hold to the guns of your wrong kid, even though it's at the expense of your right niece. Moving on. So I'm chilling there, scrolling through some channels, through some YouTube, content. And as I'm busy trying to choose a channel for these people to watch, the one guy's like, or like, what is this, the daughter of the mama that's sleeping in the bedroom back there that's struggling to wake up? And my uncle is like, as in, it's my niece, this is my niece, Karabo. And the next question was so humiliating. It was so embarrassing to my aunt and my uncle because they are both neglecting me. They are both hurting me in favor of their substandard child that has wreaked havoc in my life. Their kid is wrong and I'm right. Their kid was the derelict growing up, not me. Their kid was the troubled child growing up, not me. I was always the responsible academic, and these people know it. They know that what I am is a travesty. They know that what I am is a flagrant misrepresentation of reality. But nonetheless, they're out here rolling these streets doing it anyway. These gentlemen that don't know me, 2 men. Oh, get us golo. What an embarrassment. I laughed. As in, do you go? They asked me if I'm in high school. I'm sitting on the couch and they like, are you in school? I didn't even want them to finish asking me questions. They did not automatically assume that I'm working in corporate South Africa. They did not assume that I was employed. They just assumed I was in high school. It's not the first time. People have imagined me to be so young that I can't possibly have kids and that I can't possibly be gainfully employed because I am still a child. So I'm sitting there and they're like, okay, na school, okay, na guys school, and I'm like, no, I'm not in school. And I was giggling as I was busy choosing this YouTube channel. And my aunt is like the one that ended up responding to them on some no. My aunt is like, my Okay, let me use English. My aunt is like, no. It's been a very long time since she left high school. I sped out of the kitchen, out of the lounge, because I did not want to answer more questions because it would just embarrass them. I'm doing nothing. I'm sitting around at 39. Like, let's not give more details about what's going on with me, please. Let me get out of here so ain't nobody asking more questions. Like, yeah. But just long story short, I'm not in school, and just like the auntie told you, it's been a minute since I've been out of high school. A long time ago. 2002 was my matric year. And it is 2023, a whole minute later, and I am embellished. You know, my reputation has been embellished. I've been afflicted and treated like the scum of the earth, but biologically, I don't appear to have left school too very long ago, according to 2 sources in one day. So maybe I should just go on right ahead and walk down the aisle to some 23-year-old dude, and nobody would ever wonder, what's this Gogwane doing with this poor child? They just think we're peers. Just like that lady at the Pick and Pay telling me I must just take her colleague because we are mbora. He's more my size than he is her size, and I should just get out of there with a package of a kid, because the 2 of us, like, frankly, let me just unburden her with her colleague as she was making that joke. So Gen Z's banna. I might as well just go do that, right? Go and steal some Gen Z's husband and marry him just to escape this buffoonery. Except no such thing would ever happen. And I'm speaking about this right now because I came from a dream, a pretty disturbing dream. It was disturbing, although with some kind of a fragrance of naivety, so I shouldn't really be too disturbed by it, right? Did I put my caveats out there before I started rapping on, guys? I'm using app makeup for those of y'all who are wondering. I am definitely going to use makeup. I've changed my angle because I found a way to hang this. My captions are not always accurate, and my silence detector every so often takes out my words, so have mercy if you can't hear. Okay, now let's move on. I had a dream, you guys. I had a dream. We're not going to sing further. I had a dream. I'm feeling weakish, eh? Yeah, I'm feeling weakish. Why is my fast struggling me through this fast this time around? It's because I ate for 2 whole months and now I'm fasting. So my body's like, whoa, when's I gonna. I was faint even at the store, man. Anyway, whatever. Let's keep talking over here. I had a dream. So it can be understood that mina I tandazad. I prayed, guys. I gave my life to the King of the universe, and then I asked for stuff. And I trust him to provide for me exceedingly and abundantly above anything at all that I can ever ask for. And we're going to have a discussion about that today, because it's what I'm about, right? Discussions. Hallelujah. You know what I mean? Guys, my arms are flabby. Yo, fat arms, flabby arms. A pot belly still gives good loving. I've always had flabby arms, you guys. Never really had upper body strength. I need to work them out. There's disproportionate muscular mass in my legs in comparison to my arms. And I can't stand doing that because, like, I got flabby arms. I gotta work out. I don't know how to work out my arms. Let's go fetch the dumbbells. Eesh. They bore me, though. They bore me violently. One day, I'm gonna be strong. Looking like, yes, guys, I've got underarm hairs. Please, I don't have time to shave. I'm gonna be looking like Superman, or Spider-Man, Rabbleby, more like Spider-Man, because he's always climbing up, like, mountains. He's always climbing up walls. So the guy's like, Rabbleby. I'm going to have upper body strength of Rabbleby one of these days, so don't be teasing my flabby arms. The one thing that might just make me look 40. Anyway, yeah. Are you, like, upset at my armpit hair? Who am I shaving for? Somebody tell me, who am I doing it for? And my arms, I'm like, I am ready for love. Why are you not coming through? For who, for what? I'll shave on the day I meet my man. That's what's good, if at all I ever meet him. If I don't get raptured first. Yeah, on the day when some dude is looking at me, oleng fly, oratang modimo, oleng age appropriate. Get la lo reka vit. Wankutla, Veet. I will go buy Veet. Maybe even wax patches. Get some hot wax. Her to sister life. Maybe even go for laser and just get it all done so I don't never have to go back and shave again for 2 years. Like laser hair removal. Yeah, I am ready for love. When my husband is here in Kenya, for now, y'all are gonna be dealing with a bush. A bush. And you know, I don't even understand why in the world gets in a bush underneath here. It should be a lot bushier given that I don't shave. Cause I ain't going nowhere. But it's not. My hair grows proportionately. It's beautiful. Grows lovely and thick on the top of my head. But then underneath here, it's cause God knew that one day, I'm just gonna let myself grow a boss everywhere. I'll shave ala me bossa, guys. My bushes, I will shave them. I will shave them when somebody is around to give me a reason to shave. Right now, I'm suffering and we don't have time. Okay, yeah, let me just go on right ahead to tell you the dream I had. I know I digressed, but we're going back to the point. 1 minute. Right. Alright, this is what's good. Oh yeah, the speech lag. There's no speech lag right now because it's pretty cool. It's already like 1900 hours. Plus, it's been a coolish day all day. It's kind of rainy. It's the Rugby World Cup day. In Johannesburg, you know it's all murky. So yeah, you would know. By the time I upload, however, it'll probably be Sunday, like morning or something. I don't know. Whatever. Or Monday morning. Do you? Okay, guys, listen. I had a dream. And I'm gonna tell why it is that dream is a travesty. It is a spectacular error that has been committed on the part of, gazing upon a sister in this regard. I am, I guess, flattered by being looked at by youngsters, little Ben Tennies. How's it over there, little men, youngsters, little babies? Oh, my cheeks, so cute. It's flattering, but flattery, that's where it'll end. Because this random of 2023 of the Ben 10, take it, yo, take it, you can have it, yo, take it, you can touch it, yo, take it. It's a 10, but wait, to the chicken, trying to make yourselves feel young and vibrant and energized, utilizing youngsters like individual tiny men, frankly irresponsible. I do imagine it irresponsible because herein lies the deal. Nothing's ever changed except the times. And so given that, Adam and Eve fell and did the exact same thing all throughout the ages, Adam and Eve will keep falling, doing the same thing over and over again because they're under the prince of the power of the air. This prince of the power of the air, of which is an ancient spirit that's been doing ancient things for a minute. And he will repeat the same issues over and over again. And so therefore fulfill the reality that history keeps repeating itself because humanity just never learns. Hey, Ebaton guys, we're fighting an ancient spirit that uses the same ideas because he knows they always work. So the same things that have afflicted you like in 1902, 1802, and 1602 are gonna afflict you in 2022 or 23. So cease and desist from anticipating that kuzoba difference for you as a woman when you was out here being his kokwan and met the kuga santin over some little dude that is gonna be fascinated with you for all of 5 seconds following which kuzo shuba for you as a lady, you in particular, even if this guy does not get over you, because there's something about older women that younger guys just become, hey angazi, how can I describe it as they are like King Kong and the woman in question is like a human being. They feel this exhilaration about being with iskukwane. They will tell themselves that they can hold on, and sometimes they do hold on for dear life, but it is about the discomfort that you will feel because of the rest of society around this bugger, around this youngster, around this King Kong that's bashing his chest on the mountaintop because ubambe older. The problem is the ecosystem, not even the guy so much. Cause proper this thing of thinking that we can love each other together in a cave, baby. I don't care what the world says. Proper singing Pina Elea Akon. Nobody wanna see us together, but it don't matter, no. Cause I got you, babe. Nobody wanna see us together, but it, I'm into the sunset, elope with your young man. and be miserable as a woman because you were supposed to be a lot more mature than that. Cradle snatcher. Like, stop. Stop stealing husbands from Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. I'm just saying, anyway, whatever. So let's just get to the point. Had a dream, you guys. I had a dream. Like a little normal life thing. Out of the blue. I'm sorry, guys. I'll speak English. I had a dream. In my dream, there was a beautiful young Generation Z. Human individual at the gymnasium. Looking like Kofko Lofiko. Alright, let's speak English. There was a beautiful young individual of the Gen Z, conglomerate. Yeah, he was a Generation Z, guys. And he was in the gymnasium. Looking all fly and swaggified. Not struggling to build muscle, because after all, he's a Generation Z, right? Looking all peachy and just girthy, thick, like Omoduna. You know what, guys? There's a reason why athletics are drawn, like the athletics profession is drawn to youngsters. There's also a reason why military professions, they're drawn to youngsters when they conscript men into war. But when they be out here being 19, they be out here being 22, just these little babies, okay, that are going to fight for our countries and so face death. I was looking at the soldiers in the IDF as they were being spoken to by Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, as he was pumping them up, and my heart was so broken because all I could think was, but they're so young, like they could die, their lives are ahead of them. But that's just the thing, they gotta be young. Why? Because they're agile, they've got energy, they've got ambition, they've got resolve. Life has not slapped them upside the head to a point of being apprehensive. They don't have that caution tape around them when it comes to pouncing on things, so they can just dive into a battlefield and shoot a gun. They have to be young, especially because they're as agile as they are, and because they're young, man oh man, how they can get big, right? Especially if genetically dad and mom are tall. And so this guy ended up tall. When then he goes inside the gymnasium, he then becomes the Incredible Hulk, okay? A big, strong man, able to punch everybody out of the way. There was a story about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago in South African news. Begitele, our police minister guy, was out here like not teasing, but rebuking the police of the country because there was a story that came out where in the East Rand of Johannesburg, some Incredible Hulk, okay? Some 20-something, 22, 23, 20-year-old drunkard, some drunk Incredible Hulk beat the police, right, who were trying to arrest him for public drinking. He beat them up so much that they ran away. The police ran away to go and get back up, and there were two of them. And the Incredible Hulk beat them up so badly that they had to run away and call for backup, because this little Hulk was so strong for them that they couldn't deal. They couldn't handle him. Like, they properly could not handle him. And I'm grateful that they didn't wield a weapon and shoot him dead. They rather fled for backup. But when the story made the media, because it was being recorded on social media by people watching this whole thing, when it trended, Begitela was like, yes, and this is unacceptable. You can't be getting given like a whole buttock whooping by some child. He kept on referring to this Incredible Hulk as a child. Like, he's just a child, and you grown men were not able to handle them. I blame it on the fitness or the lack thereof of the South African police. You be out here fighting people in the force that are around. Do you understand? Like, how you gonna run after a criminal? I don't understand why there is a fitness is not a prerequisite, a requirement of being part of the executive in the country. I don't understand why it's not expected, required. It ought to be a requirement that people that sign up for the police force, especially if they're out on the field and not bound to a desk, that they should be fit. They should be able to run after criminals. They should have some level of physical fitness. So why donuts are aligned with police officers, for me, is just beyond me, because it's defeatist. Like, in the worst way, they should be fit. Nonetheless, this guy was able to beat to a pulp the police, 2 of them, until they had to call for backup, and it made all of South Africa basically laugh. Okay, that's what's good. And it was a joke, but not funny, but it was funny-ish. If you were to hear the speech in and of yourself, you would be like out of this world, like just laughing. Like what was the word that he utilized to describe this thing? Basically something along the lines of, you can't be getting gwajisad by little children. You can't let them run you circles. You properly have to get your act together, South African police, but you're the minister. You're the one that should come up with rules saying that the cops gotta have some level of fitness anyway, whatever. That little youngster that beat those 2 popos until they ran away and asked for backup is exactly what young men can do. That's what's good. And they have, like I said, when they're sent to war, they love them precisely because they've got this whole thing going. There's no restraint. They just wanna play. And on top of that, a lot of times they don't yet have wives, they don't have children, nobody to basically stay safe for, nobody to be out of harm's way for. So, if they pass away, their parents will mourn, but at least they're not leaving behind some orphans, if you know what I mean. So young men that are especially tall in stature, and they found out about metal, iron, in the gymnasium. Incredible Hulk. So, man oh man, how they're the best human individuals on earth. Frankly. To be Rabubi, Rabubi, Kimo, what's up, my Rabubi? Yeah, they Spider-Man, guys. They Spider-Man. Where you ever found a middle-aged man being cast in a show? Yeah, superhero. Ain't nowhere. Have you seen Barry Allen, the first ever episode of The Flash? You why you go and grab a child from high school and just go grade 11 and just cast him as a superhero? Come on, get somebody a little bit older. They had to get a 4-year-old dude. Why? Because he was going to age with the show and then outgrow, but he was going to ultimately be outgrown. By the time the last season of The Flash happened, you could tell that he'd grown up now. He was a man in his 30s, and so it was time for The Flash to end. It was time for the series that is The Flash to end. Both him and Iris were looking like little, squeaky teenagers, even though they were already in their 20s. So, yeah. Barry Allen is adored because he's the perfect superhero, He's the perfect superhero. All these guys that they cast in these superhero shows are 20, 21, 22, 23, maybe 19. They could totally act in High School Musical and be a superhero, be Clark Kent at the same time, because they look more or less the same age. And then when they go to the gym, they build muscle real quickly and they're agile, they can run, so they're the best damsel in distress rescuers. Best ones. They are the best damsel in distress rescuers, and they know that. They know that about themselves, and so sometimes it makes them hella ambitious. For older women that are having a hard time with the world that is just ransacking them because they're older. Hey, they are just singing, I will love you, baby. Yeah. No, that ain't nobody love you. Look at me. I got my soul. Plus, you say you struggle with not Viking. What do you call this thing? What do you call it? Yeah, flabby arms. A pot belly still gives good loving. I can teach you how to work out. I know what dumbbells to lift. Because yes, indeed, even when you go the gymnasium, they're the ones that are fitness trainers. They're the ones that are personal trainers. These young guys that are able to really very quickly just build muscle. 1 minute. I'm so distracted. I am so distracted. There's so much activity outside and I can't be free in talking. Anyway, I was talking about how it is that these guys can very easily and quickly just build muscle. And so they tend to be fitness trainers as well. So when then Kara was complaining that I've always had such weak upper body strength, and look at my arms, they're not strong enough, I'm flabby, type thing. The guy's no, I can help you along. I can totally help you along. I can help you get all birch. I can help you get all fat. I can help you get all potrisi. I am so distracted by all this noise outside. Like, I'm so distracted. I can't be as free as I usually am with just my family. It's other people, and some of them don't even know me or my struggle or my qualms anyway. My voice has to be lofty enough for my silence detector to not cut out my words, so I can't really squeak up. Whoa, they're leaving. I did not expect that they would leave so soon before even the rugby match has commenced. So praise God. I don't know, like, I don't like guests. I told you guys, my life is hard enough on its own. I don't like the attention. I don't like the sorrow, the pity, and them looking at me like, Ishsan, like, can't deal proper. Bahambile, good. Because I'm hungry, I want to shower and everything and just get the stuff out the way. Anyway, I can project my voice now. Cool. Let's just carry on. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, these guys, these young guys, they've got like a thing, right? A je ne sais quoi that I'm not going to take away from them because they're young. I mean, you know, the youth is still rumbling in their genes, rumbling in their bones. So do you and fly like a bird. But given that they feel like these superheroes, and young guys, even I guess young girls towards older guys sometimes, but take for instance when you were a child growing up. Let me use this as an example, right? Women, you cannot allow yourself to fulfill the fantasy of a young guy because at the end of the day it's a fulfilled fantasy, and for those reasons it'll always just be this mystical fantasy in a way that for you, it's just damaging in so very many respects. And so you gotta respect yourself enough to not fulfill the fantasy of a person that's operating in a dream come true. How can I describe it? And indeed, just like with high school, when I was a kid, in like grade, 9? Maybe 10, there was this like fly celebrity in the country that was like a good 10, 12 years older than me. Let me think, how old was, yeah, maybe like 10, 12-ish years. His name was Fat Joe. Where was I? Was I in grade, maybe grade 8, 9 or something. He had a show called the Fat Joe Show. You still know Fat Joe, P-H-A-T, not the American rapper, the South African continuity presenter. This like yellow bone with these big lips and just like he was just very incredibly charming type establishment thing. And Fat Joe was just a fly, beautiful older guy. He was a beautiful older guy. And I would spaz over Fat Joe over my television. Every time the Fat Joe show would come on, I was spazzing. I was like, oh, Fat Joe, Fat Joe. I was starstruck. You must understand that if at all I had turned 18, okay, and Fat Joe, of which, by the way, still to this day is looking pretty good. So he aged gently. He aged beautifully. He aged as gorgeously as he always has been gorgeous. At the time, Fat Joe was like, what? In his mid-20s, maybe headed for his 30s. Could have been in his very early 30s even. When I was, like, just beginning high school. And I was spazzing over this guy to a point where if I had just turned 18 and happened upon Fat Joe, and Fat Joe like proper like sputtered me and talked to me some kind of way and told me, I like you, I love you, I want to marry you. Yo, naive as I was, I would have been like, oh, Fat Joe, propose marriage to me. And I would have gone on right ahead and been dumb. And as an 18-year-old gone and married a dude that is almost twice my age. I would have done that. I would have done it and I would have had no qualms with it. I would have done it and I would have had no qualms with it until later on I would then wake up to realize that I married a fantasy, a dream come true. Essentially, what would be the equivalent of a fetish. Another guy that I had a crush on, and he I believe is even older than Fat Joe, would be if he was still alive. When I was in primary school, I was out of my mind in love with a 25-year-old Tupac. He was so cute, especially in Poetic Justice, him with that smile and that nose ring. I was spazzing, hard knock for Tupac. Do you understand? Naive as I was as a kid, if that dude had rocked up and buttered me, I would have gone on right ahead and dated Tupac as a kid. Like, because I was dumb. Like, because of the fact that I was fulfilling a fantasy. A total comprehensive fantasy in my mind. You see, the thing is, in your mind as a young person, It is this fantasy that when it comes true, it's a dream come true, and frankly, everybody must just covet you because you're with Tupac or you're with Fat Joe. But from the vantage point of Fat Joe and from the vantage point of Tupac, if they decided to pursue me when I was still that young, they would just look like these pedophiles. They would just look like these irresponsible randos that are thoroughly taking for granted that some spazzing young woman with a naivety is fulfilling a fantasy, not realizing that one day she's going to wake up next to Ikesa. That, maybe I should have been a little bit smarter. Maybe I should have been just a tiny bit, like a tad bit wiser, and allowed myself to recognize this for what it is. Just some flagrant fantasy. Do you understand? Well, the same thing is also true with guys, right? When I was in high school, I was like 17, and I had a 21-year-old boyfriend. All right, he was 4 years older than me, and there was. Do you remember Tshego from Generations? Tshego, her name was Tshego Fatso. She was a villain, a super villain in the show, right? She was an older woman that in the show at the time could have been like in her 30s, and my ex-boyfriend went to some function and I was not there, and there was celebrity presence in that environment, and my ex-boyfriend, or at the time he was my boyfriend, he saw Tshego at this event and then came back, right? The event happened and like ended. The next weekend, everybody was chatting about this, event that they went to where there were celebrities. And my boyfriend made me so jealous. He made me so crazy jealous, you guys. He made me crazy jealous. He was like, yo, guys, let's speak Meziwa somewhere. And ngabonu Tshego from Generations, I any day, I would take her, I would have her. And this little bucket and said this, get him right there. And I'm like, I'm your girlfriend and I'm 17, I'm age appropriate. You're only 4 years older than me. That woman could be your mama, please. Like what? But like this dude was out just spazzing over a celebrity that was much older than him. And I was jealous. I was jealous as a 17-year-old girl over a 3-year-old woman, that my boyfriend, when he saw her personally live, he was like, yo, she's beautiful. Like she's hot. Like what chesa. Chiquita. And I got jealous. So and because of my jealousy, what in the world was going on in my brain? What was happening in my mind? This Gogwan, she's older. She's gonna crease. She's gonna get all gray. Oh, please, man. She ain't got jack on me. I'm still perky. I'm young. I'm 17. Yes, like, on Kenya with she's a gogo. That's what I was thinking at 17, at a 33-year-old woman, 34-year-old, more or less, around that age, when she was acting with Generations. I explained all that to you to help you understand what is the danger facing the older woman in question. Noma asa hot, just like Tshego was hot, so hot that my 21-year-old boyfriend was spazzing and making me as a 17-year-old girl feel like, hey, wena, you know what I mean? Okay, very well. The Ben 10, these boy toys. There is a trend in the 21st century, where it is that women are trying to justify that it's okay. There was a time when it was wholeheartedly unacceptable for a woman to date a younger man. Back in the day, because it was just, there were so many challenges with being with a younger man. Essentially otherwise known as the Oedipus complex. Women, we age faster than men. Just the same age, chronologically. The dude is 22, you're 22 at the same time, but when you both get to 42, he gonna be looking way better than you. Is that basic? So men age slower than us. It's just their genes. They've also got thicker skin than us, especially around their neck area. So they don't get all of these signs of aging as quickly as we do. They don't get crow's feet as fast, fine lines and wrinkles as fast. They don't get turkey neck as fast. They don't get maybe they sometimes, okay, gray hair it doesn't discriminate. You can get it on at 22, for crying out loud. I knew a guy who was starting to gray at like 22. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like every other sign of aging, men tend to not struggle with it as quickly as women, so they look really good older. And also how after high school there are guys that were skinny, scrawny, frankly nothing to write home about, and then next thing you see them at 25, at like, I don't know, at 28, you see them at 28. It happened with me with one guy from my high school. At 28, you see them at your renewal, at your high school reunion, and it's like, what? Yo, that is who? Hey, but that dude was lanky, skinny, and there was nothing attractive about him. Whereas with the girls, they out here getting fat, they out here losing swagger, they have all their spunk in youth, but as time progresses, they lose it. So basically the tables turn for the better for men as they get older, in a way that they turn for the worst for women as they get older. It's just a very unfortunate statistic for us as women. Thankfully, however, in the 21st century, we have respect for the gym. Thankfully, in the 21st century, we also have respect for some retinol, some tretinoin, some vitamin C. We've got respect for surgery. We've got respect for Botox injections and lip fillers. We have got respect for wigs that cover our grays or dye in the 21st century. So we can delay the process of us shriveling up like a prune sooner rather than later. 21st century, we also have respect for sunscreen. That's what's good. But that still does not take away the fact that as women, we have got to fight a much more tumultuous war with aging than men. You will have way more cosmetics in your cosmetic closet at 35 than you will have at 25, at 45 than you will have at 35, at 55 than you will have at 45, at 65 than you will have at 55. Our war is far loftier than that of men. And even when we make this war with genes, with our natural proclivity towards faster aging in comparison to men, even when we make that war and we successfully win that battle, we never win the war. We win the battle against aging, to age slower, against perhaps ourselves, against other women, but never against men. There is nothing we can do to age as gracefully as those randos. Literally, there is nothing we can do. It's just the way God done did it, and I feel as if though God did it this way, right? Women live longer than men on average, and so given that He gave us longevity, and because of the fact that we tend to be more responsible with taking care of ecosystems, nurturing like entire ecosystems until we are in old age, He gave us longevity, but then He gave men youth pretty much for much longer. And then just cut them short. They die sooner than us, but we age, and the thing we have on our side is longevity. We just are healthier for longer. We die less. We don't die as much as they do, but we definitely age a lot worse than they do. So as a woman, you better frankly pray as you are being conceived by your parents that genes work out for you, and then learn real young the power of sunscreen. Learn real young the power of ducking the sun, never mind sunscreen. Real young the power of food choices. Real young the power of exercise, lifestyle. Basically, really just get that right in your teens and 20s, and it'll benefit you in your 30s, 40s, 50s, etc. As a woman. But for men, they could just let themselves go and still kill it later on. It is what it is. It's just the way life is, right? So females, the things are different for us. And back in the day, dating a younger guy, or being with a younger guy, or marrying a younger guy, much younger, and I'm not speaking younger by 2 or 3 years, 5 tops, that is okay. I think, people in different cultures operate differently. A 5-year sliding scale is allowable, in the sense that a guy that is 5 years maximum younger than you, and even then when you are much older, like a 30-year-old guy for a 35-year-old is okay, but a 20-year-old guy for a 25-year-old, not okay. So you gotta be a little bit older for you to start imagining it's okay to be with a guy that's slightly younger than you. But once you move into 6, 7, decade, 15 years, once you start to pride yourself in a dude that's a whole, could be a whole preteen child in the middle between the two of y'all, there are issues there for women in particular, because age differences are kind of indistinguishable within that 5-year range. But the moment you go out of that range, it becomes clear that you kind of like iskokwane. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, but back in the day, men used to gauge, and still to this day, but it's less hectic now because of the fact that we're in the 21st century and apparently we're living in a different era or whatever. And so therefore now women, sisters are doing it for themselves, whatever. Do you feminists and dating Ben 10s at your expense, because the thing is never about them. It's never the Ben 10s that ultimately have qualms with their choice for older bride. It's always the woman. It's always the female. And guys, this is a man's world. It unfortunately works that way just for us and not so much for men. Men who marry younger women, they get away with lots of murder in a way that women that marry younger men just don't. They just don't. And by younger, like I said, sliding scale of about 5 years. More than that, then it starts to become kind of risque. And these are the challenges that you face as a woman. Back in the day, it was highly unfounded, highly unlikely that you would ever find a younger guy with an older woman, because women tended to be valued for their physical appearance, and back in the day women aged faster than what they are currently, because there are so many more interventions in this current generation that we are in against aging. We are taking care of ourselves better. If you look at photographs side by side of parents, our parents, millennial or exennial parents, at the same age as us, you will see that they looked a lot older at the same ages as us, and that's because we are just far better able to take care of ourselves and look better than what it is that they did. And teenagers look like they're in their 30s. Like teenagers in the 50s look like they were in their 30s. If you look at photos of them, they look like 30-year-olds today. That's one of the biggest reasons why back in the day you would barely ever find young people married to older women, because they tended to look like their moms and they avoided them. Plus they placed a lot of value on phenotypical beauty, outward beauty, like physical beauty of women that tended to be very rife, of course, in the younger years of these women. Plus value for fertility as well, because at the time that was an era where women were not so much working for themselves. They were the primary purpose of a man marrying them was to put them in the house and then put babies in there until there's like a whole family thriving, and mom is a stay-at-home mom, or at most she's a secretary really in the job that she works, but nothing too hectic. She's always going to be there for the kids and therefore the husband. So they tended to search out men, women that were younger than them, because these women needed to basically be taken out of their parents' houses and then put in another man's house, and the man in question would then be the husband. The man would therefore have to first go out there, get his money. He needs to start a career, make something of a livelihood for himself, and then he could go and grab a bride. So it was very rare to happen upon a younger woman marrying an older woman marrying a much younger man. But in 2023, like, women are making so much money, and there is this androgyny dwelling in them where they imagine they can be like men, and the more money they make, the more they think they can sing Beyonce's Sugar Mama. Let me be the one to be, used to be your sugar, your papa, your sugar mama. Sugar mama, mama, I promise not to let no bills get behind. You best believe I'm gonna be on time, sugar mama, 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 yeah. I mean, when Beyonce did that song, it was like, 10 years ago or something? Maybe slightly more than 10 years ago. So it was already starting this phenomenon, Yeti Sugar Mama. It was already sort of kind of starting to rear its ugly head, but it was not nearly as prevalent as what under heaven it is in 2023. And I'm making these observations all over the show, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Sugar Mama, I'm not doing it. And now when you are an impoverished older woman, but that's looking really good like Fat Joe in the 90s, or in the early 2000s, it's like, so now I'm not really a sugar mama because I ain't got no money. Now you want to like basically spoil me the way that you would spoil a 22-year-old, because you be crushing on me because I'm all over social media, and I got like some uncles out in these streets asking me what high school I go to, because I look like I'm in high school, but I'm not in high school. I'm 39. I'm almost hitting 40. So irrelevant entirely that I am in no position to be a sugar mama, but rather be catered to by a man who has an ability to take care of himself, spazzing over me the way that I spazzed over Fat Joe at the age of 15 when the guy was like headed for 30. Yeah, okay, the fantasies will always be there. The celebrity crushes will always be there. The crush on your school teacher, that's so fly, like so stylish, what, will always be there. I mean, but there will always be boys in school that are spazzing over the 25-year-old beautiful teacher. And there will always be girls in school spazzing over the 25-year-old really handsome teacher. But, I mean, the moment that teacher decides to date the student, that's when stuff stops being about little, tiny boy crushes on bigger people. It starts becoming kind of perverted. It starts becoming kind of sick. And the person in question that wins the jackpot is the child. Because for them, it's a dream come true, a fantasy fulfilled. But for the adult, you will always look nasty. That's what I'm getting at. For the big person, it'll always make them look creepy. The young woman that marries a much older man might be accused, that's what's good, of being a gold digger if the guy's got a whole bunch of money. But more than anything, the older guy will always be looked at as a creepy little grubby-fingered pervert that is thoroughly thinking that that's suffering from, never mind a midlife crisis, but if you're 80, what is that? Like an elderly life crisis? A 45-year-old dude will be accused of having a bad case of midlife crisis when he's out here rolling around with a 25-year-old. Like, it doesn't matter how genuine that love is, the guy is always going to be get given grief. Similarly, too, with an older woman that is with such a much younger guy, midlife crisis, they're gonna tease you for having a violent midlife crisis. And the sad thing about it as well is the females that this guy could have been with, babanyani, yo, how they gonna diss you? How they gonna diss you like I done diss that celebrity wako generations for being his gokwan? His gokwan. This gokwan. For me, it was like, this is a gogo, it's a granny. And I was jealous because my boyfriend was rapping on about her in a way that I had never heard him rap about me. Maybe when I'm not there, he's rapping about me like that, but I've never heard him talk about me as yo, I would hit that. Like, yo, I'm here. You here, guy? I'm just hello, buru, kapala, like just to make my presence known. But he's spazzing over some celeb chick, and I got so jealous that I thoroughly decided to make it clear that she old and she gonna be gray in a minute. She gonna be walking around with a walking stick while you still jogging, running circles around a track, an athletics track. Please. And it made me kind of despise her ever since then. Basically when I would watch Generations, I would have like a little bit of a growl in my in my constitution, because my man be spazzing over this gokwan. Poor chick is only 33, but like, he's gokwan to me. Why? Because I'm 17. The issue will always come in lamp-based the female in question. She will always be the lamp-basted party in the room. You cannot just run with a fantasy, that's what's good, as the party that is fantasized about, because yours is to just stay a celebrity in the life of this human being and sign an autograph. But goodness, do not go on right ahead and date a fan, because this fan will feel so super blessed by being with you, but you're gonna look dumb for deciding to give one of the people in the stadium that was throwing confetti at you and bras at you as you sang as an artist on the stage a chance. The woman that threw a bra at you as Genuine back in the day, was only busy doing pony on a stage. Now she's your wife. Exactly. People are gonna laugh at Genuine. And I'm using Genuine because I'm using old school examples, and also that level of sexual perversion or that level of fetishizing. It's not wholesome. It's not godly. There is no beauty in it. It is riddled with lust and just unwholesome fantasy instead of reality. It is not caring or catering to the true need in question for a person to find solace and comfort from their sorrow. If you want to rock up as a 23-year-old in the life of a 40-year-old woman or a 39-year-old woman, you are asking to humiliate her beyond what it is that people are trying to humiliate her. I had a dream. One such dark, handsome, thick, gym buff of a man that, because my black don't crack and because I appear to be aging genetically, it all works out for me as well. I told you my uncle is only now getting gray beard at the age of 60. It still does not take away from the fact that I grew up among a people that I was on the school playground with in the 90s. And in the early 2000s, I was busy getting my first boyfriend. And I was properly amidst a people that all saw me grow up among them at a certain time, that now would watch me basically dating somebody that is nearly the age of their firstborn sons. And I just, for me, it's like, it puts a person in a position to be humiliated by the ecosystem around them. It will tank the statistics of the person in question, that what is the fantasy. So it is best to remain a fantasy. That's it. Instead of a fulfilled dream come true. To a spazzing fan that will feel so exhilarated at the prospect of getting or conquering the person that they thought was so out of reach, but now is in their house. They will still be blowing out birthday candles the way they're so happy when everybody is teasing you for having a severe midlife crisis. that you grew up with in the 90s, that you grew up with in the 2000s. What's worse is that never mind being teased by everybody, but there's then also the issue with their parents, their mothers, their families. Ain't nobody gonna be out here in these streets trying to give you a pass. Cradle snatching. Ain't nothing works in a vacuum. Nothing works in a vacuum. And wisdom, people ought to apply it instead of just running with their passions. And women in particular, you might be in the 21st century where sunscreen is your best friend. Retinol, tretinoin, surgery, Botox, fillers, all that jazz. Yeah, might be your best friend. Very well. But at the end of the day, remember, we have got improved ability to take care of ourselves in terms of aging as women, but we will never ever get to the level of being as gentle in aging as men are. It'll never happen. So you do yourself a gargantuan favor as a female when you marry a man that is older than you, because herein lies the next part. There will always be riddled in your particular bones these violent insecurities, even if this man is not dissing, teasing, mocking you, because at the end of the day, you are his Tupac. In other words, you are the equivalent of a 15-year-old, 15, what am I talking about? A 12-year-old guy was spazzing over a 25-year-old Tupac. Like, you are their Tupac. Stay Tupac. The fantasy. Stay a fantasy. Do yourself a favor and stay a fantasy. That you will just be like, I'm so flattered when a 25-year-old guy is flirting with you as a woman that's hitting 40. Because then it helps you say, I still got it. I still got it. But when you start dating him, you lose it. I promise you right now, you lose it. You lose it. You just lose that swagger fast and furious. Let them spaz and grovel at your toes, trying to lick them, trying to paint them, trying to do all different kinds of stunts just to get you to look at them jumping through hoops. Let them flatter you. Like a circus, watch it. But at the end of that circus, do not insist on being part of the circus. Leave, because the show is over. And then be like, when you get home, oh, I had a great show today. In other words, look in the mirror and be like, oh girl, you still got it. Shopping up, like literally walk in front of your mirror wearing heels on some... I can't believe a 25-year-old guy is thoroughly trying to take me to Mauritius. Can't believe it. And then just like flip your hair in front of the mirror and walk away on some, I still got it. And then sleep, girl. Get in your pajamas as the 40-year-old that you are. While he's getting in the car to go to the club, you get in your pajamas and hang out in Club Juve. Recognize your age. See who you are. And so therefore, after flipping that wig and your neck cracking a little bit because age is starting to catch up with you, get inside Club Juve while this guy goes to an actual nightclub. On that day, you stay a fantasy, but a fabulous one that is being pursued by 20-year-olds in the office. Don't let yourself be the circus. Watch the circus and go home and say, I watched a good show today. Do not be part of the circus.